Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back now with issue 70 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. So what's in the magazine? An article on William Thomas Stead, Between Two Worlds. Apparently the recollections of journalist William Thomas Stead are the most astonishing of the accounts of the Titanic sinking. And again, I believe that's his wife, Estelle Stead. Yep, still more articles on William Stead. And still, so this magazine appears to be entirely about William Stead. Interesting, I suppose. Yep. And then Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in there as well. And that's us on to the instructions. So, as always, the articles are interesting. That's not why we're here. Let's have a look at the parts for issue 70. Okay, so what's in the box? Feeling deja vu here. We have a pack of AP screws, again. We have the next section of the deck. Some staircases going down. And we have 2 pieces of decking. But that's all this time. No section of grand staircase. I believe the next one we get the aft grand staircase, but I'm not 100% sure. So again, what we're going to be doing is gluing these 2 bits of decking down. As you can see, they're quite curved already, so and then we're going to be attaching this section to the piece we worked on last time. So, already have my glue, because if you can't tell, I've just followed issue 69 with issue 70 here because I already had glue sitting ready. I didn't want to waste it. I normally try and do them a day at a time so I can at least space it out slightly and give myself something to do. To say, the other build I completed was Bismarck, and it took somewhat more time to do each stage, but then I was doing it through Agora Models, so it was only taking 12 months, and for all Titanic is nicely detailed, Bismarck was, as a warship, was a lot more so. If you'll know that if you've seen my video reviewing the Bismarck kit, and if you haven't, go and have a look at it. It's on my channel, it's just not part of this playlist. So yeah, go and have a look. I do a bit of an overview of both Bismarck and of course of the power mod to save you batteries on the Bismarck once it's complete. Because, I mean, I go through a lot of AAA batteries just on the remote, so I can only imagine how many D-cell batteries you would go through on the model itself. Because you're not going to be wanting to take it off the stand to change batteries, I can tell you that. So I believe, looking at it, that this one's going to be mains powered anyway. Titanic's going to be mains powered, but if not, I'm sure the fine folks over at Partwork Upgrades will come up with a mod for it. It's strange, actually. I have seen a few mods for Titanic, but most of them have been detail related, primarily for the forecastle deck, really. Haven't seen too much else so far. I know a lot of people like me have opted to paint different bits and pieces, but that's just to add to the accuracy. There we go. And again, push this down nice and tight, because as you saw towards the tail end of the last issue, it was starting to curl up in places, and you don't want that. So just make sure it's nice and butted up against where it's supposed to be. Perfection. Lovely. And then Same on the other side. So I believe we are working on the Promenade Deck up until issue 77. I do believe it is. And then after that we go back to the hull again, from what I've read on the Hachette website. So again, we're pretty much following the pattern. Hopefully that'll give us enough hull to balance what we've got on. And again, my hope is that by that point they'll have given us enough of the deck housings for this deck that you'll actually be able to, if not fix it permanently, at least sit the boat deck on top of it. As I say, for storage, because storage is a bit ropey at the moment. Because I say, once you add this, and in the next issue you do get the next, spoiler alert, you do get the next piece of the Promenade Deck. So by the end of the next issue you have the full length of the Promenade Deck. It's going to be a fair old size, so storing it is going to be a challenge, to say the least. Because at the moment I have it sat on top of a unit. I did think that unit would do once the model was finished, but looking at it, I'm not sure, it might not be long enough. We will need to wait and see. It was on top of a 4-foot reptile tank, but I've put another unit on top of it to display some more of my curios that fill this room. There we go. Just as an aside, this room did appear on World of Wayne's channel in the Welcome to the Cave series, but it has grown and expanded significantly since then, so I may need to submit a revised version to him. But there we go, that is the deck all secured, looking very nice. So the next thing we need to do is get 4 of our AP screws out. Again, I always give you a spare. Hachette Partworks in particular are always very good for giving you spare screws. That being said, the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon that I completed just before Easter, my goodness, the whole big tub of spare screws from that one. But again, I'd rather have too many than too few, be left with some spares that I can use for other things, rather than not be able to complete the kit because you don't have enough screws. So again, line these up. These are a far looser fit than the last ones, I might add. Again, screwing the 2 sections of the deck together. Now again, I'm confused because the way Bismarck worked was to allow you to get in and have some sort of maintenance access. Everything was modular. So I believe you had 4 different sections that could detach from each other, and you could lift them off so that you could get in underneath if you needed to fix anything or amend something or maybe fix a bit of wiring. Whereas Titanic, it appears that everything sticks together. So I don't know. It might be that the deck doesn't, the superstructure doesn't secure to the model to let you in at the engine room to fix things. I don't know. Well, we can only wait and see. But it's just my observations as I'm building is Bismarck was designed more for longevity, so you could get in and service various bits and pieces. Not sure. We'll need to wait and see. Let's say I'm enjoying the Titanic build, and I'm getting very, very impressed with how it's looking. But again, Bismarck, all the staircases in Bismarck were photo etch, whereas you look at the staircases here and they're just lumps of moulded plastic. But again, very few people are going to either A, see, or B, notice. So, but But that's what that looks like, and there is your aft grand staircase area there. But that is a heck of a length of decking. And that is also us for issue 70. So, that's us for issue 70. What's coming in issue 71? Mentioned it already, the last part of the Promenade Deck. So, halfway, at the halfway point. That's weird. It's weird because I remember sitting and seeing pictures that someone uploaded on Facebook to one of the model builders groups that I'm in, one of many, saying Hachette Italia are trialling a Titanic model similar to Bismarck. And I remember thinking, oh, I really hope they release that. And I remember annoying everybody in the groups by asking if there's any word on live streams. All the model builders live streams, they didn't know anything about this Titanic. And then they released the Eagle Moss wooden one, and it looked like we weren't going to get it. And I was gutted because I can't. That wood, no, I couldn't build a wooden ship. My skill level isn't at that point yet. And then this was announced, and delighted, absolutely delighted. And now we're halfway through. So yeah, we're now on the downward slope, as they say. So yeah, amazing. And this is what we're at just now. The Promenade Deck going all the way along. And as I say, it comes out to about here. So it is a very, very long piece of decking. I'm getting worried about storage, but yeah, and I'm just so chuffed. As you see, it just looks stunning. And obviously you'll have all the deck housings that go on here, and the boat deck will sit on top. Fanboy. But yeah, as always, any comments, feedbacks, criticisms, drop them in the comment section below. Do please leave me a like, and as always, subscribe to see the other half of this build and any other future builds when I decide what I'm going to do. But yeah, thanks as always for watching, and as usual, peace out, guys.